When I was asked everything that I prepared for that question, my answer was God. Hi friends, as the year ends, I would like to share my last testimony for 2024. And again, it will be a second part of the first video that I've done on abortion. I know I didn't spill out every part of details that has to do with the abortion that I shared a testimony on. However, I hope that whatever I shared, somebody out there will be able to relate to it, or at least feel the remorse. If they are feeling the remorse from before, that would be perfect. But the remorse will lead to repentance, true godly repentance, where you ask for forgiveness and know in your heart that whenever that thing happens again, you are not going to be a part of it, shedding the blood of any child. Because as we think that children are of certain months before they can be called a child, whatever the fetus's age, whether it's a day old or a week old or a month old, it is such a fetus that ends up being a human being. So for me, that is where I stand with it. And yes, there may be good or bad reasons for people to do it, but for me, I draw the line at bad reasons no matter what. So yes, that is my stand with it. And the shortest part of this abortion testimony, which I have been trying to push back on sharing, is the fact that sometimes we do take the chances on abortion when we have our eyes set on certain goals. My experience that I would like to share is the fact that when I finished my bachelor's degree, I was looking very much for a job, and I also did internships. So the people at that job knew me and wanted to offer me a job. I went through the rounds of interviews, and when I was going for the interview, I had my third son, or my third child, who was a boy, and I felt like I was done with having children. That was what I felt then. And so at the interview, they did ask me that would I, consider having a child, because during my internship, I was pregnant and I had this child. And then some few months later, I was called for an interview. And when I was asked that question, I said, no, I will never have another child. Now, mind you, I prepared very well for this interview. This interview was supposed to be it. It was the dream job in the dream company, and I was prepared for it. I had prepared during my pregnancy and my internship and my last year of school, and now was the moment. So the question that was asked that I blacked out on was, what is the motivation for you searching for this job, or for you applying for this job, or for you to get this job, something like that. And mind you, the person that was having the interview already knew my background, knew the fact that I had been there for internship, and I was pregnant when I was there, and I delivered, and I was still coming for the internship. And so there was really nothing that I could have said wrong with that question. But when I was asked everything that I prepared for that question, my answer was God. And the woman was confused. She asked, what do you mean, God? What do you mean, God? And this was 7 years ago. She said, what do you mean, God? Do you mean your family? I think I blacked out. For like 10, 15 seconds, I blacked out. And I had to think. But then I said, yes, God is my motivation for applying for this job. It's so funny. And I had to explain that, look, God has motivated me. God has seen me through so many things. God has really putting me in the positions and places that I have been, and ultimately being here, sitting here, it was God. My motivation for coming here, I know it makes no sense, but that was what I thought of. And then my family, yes, they've backed me up. They stepped up for me. They've taken care of me. My husband has been there all throughout the process of me going to school and now sitting here applying for this job. Yes, family, she is right. It's also the reason. So with the fact that they asked me if I'm going to have any more kids, I said no, not a chance on this earth again. And then this question, and then I said, God, I left there feeling so weak. I left there feeling defeated. I left there knowing that I'm not getting this job. And 2 weeks later, approximately 2 or 3 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant with my fourth child. Let me tell you, I did everything to keep that child. I wasn't going to say I did everything to prevent that child. No, I did everything to keep that child, even though there was no readiness, preparedness. We already had 3 children, and it means our car is full. And to get to even make room for a 4th child, it means you have to buy a new car. It means you have to make provisions for a room. But fortunately for me, it was 2 girls in the beginning, and then the 3rd child was a boy, and then the 4th child was a boy. So it was 2 boys, 2 girls, and each pair can be in the same room. So my motivation for sharing this testimony is that don't think that your timing is the best. God knows God's timing is the best. Have a wonderful year ahead. Take care of yourselves. Bye.